Good morning, my loves. So today I have a really, really fun story for you. It's called Oswald's Special Surprise. What's a surprise? Do you know what's a surprise? Yeah, it's something that you didn't know was going to happen. So like if you come home and somebody has thrown you a surprise birthday party, you didn't know that birthday party was going to happen. So when you walk in the door, everybody else, surprise, and you go, oh, I had no idea because you didn't know what was happening. It was a surprise. So a surprise is something that you don't know is going to happen. My loves, in our story today, Oswald has a surprise for his friends. And I'm going to read you that story in a little bit. The characters in the story, that's who the story is about, are Oswald, Ox, Octopus, Ocelot. So all those friends are going to be in the story and a couple others. I'm going to talk to you about this really quick. In our story, the animals are going to have to go on lots of different roads to find Oswald's special surprise. So I drew some roads right here. You see this road right here? So if you were walking here, and you came up here, that's a fork in the road. You either have to go to the right, I'm going to put an R here, or you have to go to the left. You have to decide which way you're going to go. That's a fork in the road. Let me scoot you closer, okay? So you have to decide, where am I going to go? The animals in the story are going to have to decide, which way does Oswald want us to go? So we're going to listen and find out how he lets them know which way to go. Now, if you look over here, this is called an intersection. So if you are walking here, you come walking up. Now you have 3 directions to choose from. You can go to the right, you can go to the left, or you can keep going straight up. So my loves, you are going to listen. I'm going to talk about these 2 roads, a fork in the road and an intersection. In our story, Oswald's Special Surprise. I told you the characters are Oswald, Ox, Otter, Ocelot, Octopus, and Ostrich. So here we go. Listen and enjoy this fun story. The story has no pictures, see? This is what I read to you, so you make the pictures in your brain. Here we go. Enjoy the story. Oswald's Special Surprise. Written by Diane Chapman and Jane Dyer. They are the authors, so they wrote you got it. They wrote the words. Here we go. Ox, Otter, Ocelot, and Octopus were sitting under a tree when Ostrich came running from the mailbox. I have a surprise for everyone, she said. Oh, I love surprises, said Ox. It looks like a rather small surprise, said Otter, looking at the card. What is it? Ocelot and Octopus asked. Well, I don't know. At least not yet. We have to find out what the surprise is. But how do we do that? Asked Octopus. Ostrich replied, the directions are all right here on the card. It says, I have a small surprise for you. Come find out what it is. The sound of O, ah, 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 will lead you to the surprise. Oswald. That's very mysterious, said Ox. But let's get started. What do you think? We're going to take a little break. What do you think Ox means when he says that the letter is mysterious? What does mysterious mean? Turn and tell your grown-up what you think mysterious means. Maybe you said it's a little confusing, right? Because the letter doesn't explain everything. Like, what's the surprise? And where do we go? All it says is follow the sound of O, ah, ah, ah. All right, so they're going to have to figure some stuff out. So here we go. Let's keep listening. So Ox, Otter, Ocelot, Octopus, and Ostrich started walking. It was a long and sandy road, but soon they came to the end. There the road split in 2 directions. But the animals didn't know which way to go. Oh, what do we do now? Asked Otter. A road can't be a surprise. Which way should we turn? We're going to take a little break. Why are the animals so confused about what to do? Tell your grown-up, why are they so confused? Why don't they know what to do? Yeah, so all the animals are right here. They came walking up and they go, well, now which way do we go to the surprise? Do we go to the right or do we go to the left? They came to a fork in the road. I hope they choose the right way. If they choose the wrong way, they won't end up at the surprise. Okay, so let's listen. Here we go. Just then the animals heard this sound. Ah, ah, ah. Follow the sound, Ostrich said. The note said, follow the sound of O, ah, 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 and that would lead us to the surprise. So Ox, Otter, Ocelot, Octopus, and Ostrich followed the sound. The road had hills and large stones along the way. Otter had the shortest legs, and he was getting tired of walking. So Ox carried her on his back. Soon they came to a fork in the road where the road split in two directions again. The road goes two ways, said Ocelot. Which way do we go? So now, my loves, as I read, I ask myself questions about what might happen next. So right now, I know that the animals are wondering which way to go. And so then I think to myself, what's happened like earlier in the story, right? Like what happened before? Well, when they came to the fork in the road, they listened for what? Yeah, for the sound of ah, ah, ah. So I already know that. So as I'm listening to this story, my brain is going, oh, the animals are confused about which way to go. I bet they're going to hear that O sound again, right? So my brain starts figuring out what's happening in the story. I hope yours is too. Okay, so I think they're going to hear the ah, ah, ah sound. Let's see what happens. Let's listen for the sound of O. Ah, 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 said Ostrich, and everyone was quiet. They waited. Then they heard this sound. Ah, ah, ah. Ah, ah, ah. Follow the sound, shouted Octopus. So Ox, Otter, Ocelot, Octopus, and Ostrich followed the sound. This road had trees and flowers on both sides. Oh, we must be getting close now, said Otter. Oh, I wonder what the surprise could be. The animals passed the post office and then came to an intersection where the road split in three directions. These roads are getting pretty tricky, said Ox. How will we ever know which way to go this time? Stop. They came here. Do they go to the right, the left, or straight? Intersection, right? How do you think the animals will know which way to go? Yeah, they're going to listen for the sound of O, right? All right. And why do you think that's going to happen? Yeah, because it happened before 2 times, right? When they came to a fork in the road 2 times, they listened for ah, ah, ah. So you're right. It's going to happen again this time. Good job. Let's listen. We just have to remember what the note said, Ostrich told him. The sound of O, ah, 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 will lead us to the surprise. So all the animals stood quietly. Ocelot sneezed. Achoo! And everyone said, shh. At last they heard, ah, ah, ah. Octopus pointed with all 8 arms. The sound is coming from the road straight ahead. So Ox, Otter, Ocelot, Octopus, and Ostrich went straight ahead. The sound continued, ah, ah, ah. Over the hill, ah, ah, ah. Past the trees, ah, ah, ah. Finally, the animals came around a bend in the road and saw Oswald. Oswaldery, he said, you found the surprise, and the surprise is me. And a party. Oswald had set a party table for 6 people under the tree. Let's get this party started, he said. Hooray! Okay, shouted the animals. But before the party starts, I have just one question, said Ocelot. What was making those ah, ah, ah sounds? Oswald smiled. It was me. Ah, 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 Oswald. The animals all laughed at Oswald's trick and said, let ah, 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 Oswald's party begin. My loves, I have a question for you. That's the end of the story. I hope you liked it. If you did, give me a thumbs up. I have a question for you. It says that Oswald set the party for 6. So I want you to tell me who the 6 people are that all went. Is that enough places for everybody? Let's see. Who did he set the table for? Who all was in the story? Okay, yeah, well, so like Oswald was in the story, right? So I'm going to write Oswald. He was in the story. Who else was a character, a person in the story, or an animal? Yeah, octopus. I love when she points with all 8 of her legs. Like, what was she like sitting on? Her head? I don't know. What was another animal? Yeah, ox. Big, strong ox. He was in the story. Who else? Who lives by the water? Water. Otter. Do you remember the name of the cat that lives in the tree? Ocelot. Yep. And we're missing one. Big long bird. Tall legs. Doesn't fly. An ostrich. So he set the table for 6 people. Were there 6 characters in our story? Yeah, so everybody had a spot at the table. Now, my sweets, I want you to tell your grown-up if you would have liked to be on this adventure and have this surprise. Tell your grown-up yes if you would like to be on it and why, and no if you wouldn't like to be on this surprise adventure and why. Tell them why you would like it or why you wouldn't. Giving you time to tell them. It's part of understanding the stories, being able to talk about it and explain why you did like something and why you didn't. All right, my loves, there is no work for you to do today other than just to listen to my story. So I hope you enjoyed this story. Tomorrow we get to learn about a new super kid. So you're going to love it. It's going to be great. This super kid is very good, as Oswald would say, A-okay. All right, my loves, I love you, and I will see you soon. Bye.